Hi, Mike here. This week's video was inspired by a question from a viewer, Andre. Thanks for the mail, Andre, and the kind words about the videos. Andre's challenge to me was this. I'd like to assign a ticket number automatically to rows as they're being added. I'm looking for a way to do so automatically whenever a new row is added. If a row is deleted, the ticket is gone and cannot be reused. Imagine a ticket number or an invoice number that needs to be auto-incremented whenever a new row of data is added. Well, Andre, this video is going to cover the first part of your request. I couldn't find a simple way to set it up so that when a row is deleted, the ID cannot be used. You can probably do it with VBA, but that's one for another day. If you want to follow along, as usual, you can download a copy of the demo file from the link in the description below. Imagine I'm tracking Excel support calls. As soon as I enter the client's name into column B, when I press enter, I want it to generate the next sequential number in column A. My first thought was to use the sequence function. If you've not used that before, it generates sequential numbers, but it's only available to 365 users, and being one of the new dynamic array functions, doesn't work in a table. So instead, I'm going to use the row function, which uses the current row number. I've set up a table. If I go to the table tab, you can see the table is called support calls. At the moment, the table is just two rows, rows 3 and 4. But of course, as I add more rows, it will automatically grow. So I'll enter the formula into A4, and the formula is simply equals row, open bracket, close bracket, and press enter. And that returns a 4. The reason it returns a 4, because as I said, the row function returns the row number. Now I want that to return a 1, so I need to edit the formula and change it to have -3 at the end. So it's going to take the row number and subtract 3 from it. And there we go, we get 1. So the ticket ID for row 4 will be 1. If I copied that down, the ticket number for row 5 will be 2, and so on. Now I don't want it to generate a value until after I've entered a client name into column B. So I'll edit that formula again and wrap the row function inside an if. If B4 is blank, then leave this cell blank, otherwise calculate the ticket ID from the row number -3. And at the moment, because B4 is blank, the ticket ID is blank, but as soon as I put something in here, it generates the 1. For consistency, I want the same number of digits. What I mean is cells A4 to A12 have 1 character in and A13 has 2 characters in. What I want to do is I want all of the cells to have 5 characters in. So there's some consistency in how it looks. And to do that, I'm going to pad those cells with extra zeros. To do that, I'll use the text function. So if I edit A4, click the mouse just before the row function and type text, open brackets, leave the first parameter of the text function as row -3, put a comma, and in double quotes, put 5 zeros and a closing bracket. What that does is it converts the number generated by row -3 into text and displays as many zeros at the beginning as are needed to display 5 characters. If I press enter, because the formulas in column A are in a table, the formulas are automatically copied down. So if I add another client, let's add Bob Jones and press enter, you can see it automatically generates the 11 and pads the cell to give us 5 characters. Finally, I want to add TET dash at the start of each ticket number. TET being the abbreviation I use for the Excel trainer. So once again, I will edit A4 And before the text function, I'm going to open double quotes, type TET dash, close double quotes, because that is actual text, so it goes in double quotes, and then an ampersand. So that formula completely is saying if column B on this row is blank, leave this cell blank. Otherwise, generate a value which is TET dash combined with the row number of the current row, -3, and display 5 characters in there, padding it out with zeros to make the 5 characters. So I'll press enter and it ripples all the way down. And that's it. The key is to make sure the data is stored in a proper Excel table. And that way the formula is automatically copied down when a new row is added or a change is made to the first formula. Well, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'll catch you in the next video, but until then, have an excellent day.